All right, how you doing? This is BK Black Krishna from manforwars.com here at 5:14 p.m. on Friday, September 27th, 2019, downtown in Toronto, Canada. All right, that a boot. And I'm about a half a block west of John Street on the north side of King Street West. And I'll show you, there is west up King Street West. There's a couple of closed businesses there. There's East and some more chairs. There's me, there's my 17-inch laptop. Ta-da! So, put this right about here on the computer. Now, at manforwars.com, promoting polite patriotism to help nice ladies and gents teach kids to be, and look, talk, and feel great, and locally discuss and share great online info offline as nice, helpful people making better people to live, otherwise online, censored digital ghettos, talking to like minds, and then offline, root sketchy, mass zombiosis, anti-free speech, nice, happy, or busy, or look, talk, or feel good zombiosis, or non-player characters in a video game sort of situation, right? So, and so see manforwars.com for more on that. And like, comment, subscribe, share, get in touch, questions, answers, ideas to work together as you'd like. But here at 5:15 p.m., Friday, September 27, 2019, you know, I think that polite patriots worldwide, polite Canadians, patriotic Canadians, you know, you want to make sure that we save that essential part of our culture, world famous part of our culture, and polite patriots worldwide, America, Europe, Asia, Africa, wherever, can make sure their people can act nice enough to talk, right? Now, what does that mean? That means nice, polite ladies and gents. That means most people straight, great at it. Others, LGBTQ, can be too, within those frameworks, right? Straight up guys, don't lie, look you in the eye, you know, polite and brief, firm handshake. You know, don't, no sheepish sideways stuff. Don't mess us up. We'll mess other people up. Blah, 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 right? Girls can do the same, or instead of eye contact, you can have shy contact. Just be a more relaxed, attractive version of sort of what they're doing, who they are, and be gracefully distracting instead of rude, sketchy, mass zombiosis, right? So that's what we're trying to beat, and that's why online's fine. We've got to win the offline info war. It won't be nice. Everyone likes. Easier for people to look, talk, or feel good, and then when they're more empowered, they can be more informed. Here, get bad guys. Then meetings, meet and greet tables, posters, flyers, and more often work. But what you'll see with the sort of the zombiosis is it's harder and harder to, because rude, sketchy, anti-free speech, anti-nice, happy, busy, look, talk, feel good zombies, or non-player characters in a video game programmed by the system to attack any humans in the system and make them zombies who attack any humans in the system and so on. They prevent anyone from doing that, right? So one of the big sacred cows today is gender, talking about gender. Now, gender is the most important thing. It's being comfortable in your own skin, right? That's why it's so attacked. That's why the system, the media, the establishment, the controllers, whatever, that's why they want to control it so bad. Because if they can make sure people can't act nice enough to talk, they can't act nice enough to talk about what they're up to offline, and then online they can censor it, and that's it, right? So that's why they attack gender so much. And it's not about making sure a few people who are different can be happy, because we've had cultures that have accepted that for years. We've always been fine with it, except for a couple of people, and through peer pressure, we usually chilled them out when they went too far, right? This isn't about that. This is about screwing up everybody. As you can see, with the real-life 3D NPC.
But like, I mean, at the end of the day, like...
I like pretend lying, bitchy, sketchy girlfriends, or lying bitches begging to be broken, like being ignored, acting stupid, instead of stuck bitching for the win. And you know, so they get off on it, and they're happy, you're happy, everyone's happy. or mentally ill homeless people. Always make people uncomfortable. You know, always just, you know, worked up, force you to see them look ugly. You have to force them to see you look ugly. They have to run away from each other, force strangers to see you look ugly. You know, or sketchy, bother each other. You know, eventually you stop. You just don't want to feel like looking at, talking to them much anymore. So, so then they wander around near strangers. They also like being ignored. Like if you see somebody at a coffee shop, sketchy, crazy old man, where they're shaking, spazzing, politely ignore them, buy coffee. They're happy, you're happy. They like being ignored. Close they get to having respect, not being that bad. You like having self-respect, always feel better. Good to go, right? And that's what's happening to far too many people, attacking each other, making sure everyone does. And that's why gender is so important. Because if you're not comfortable in your own skin, and nobody can be comfortable near you, that's what happens. You'd rather wander around, spaz out near strangers, than look at or talk to people you know. That's what happens. That's the same with poor mentally ill homeless people. Right? So, some poor sketchy person, politely ignore it, mind your business, what are you supposed to do, right? Teach kids, right? It's not a little self-respect, they feel guilty, embarrassed, they might argue, they might lie, might get into some stupid stuff, right? And, you know, barely do anything or do nothing and get out of there. And keep your self-respect to make sure you don't lose yours and take anybody else's. And if you don't believe me, this is exactly what happens. You have no self-respect. Hey, put up with me, I don't care what you're doing. No, you're not going to like it. No, you're not going to like me. Okay, fine. Only so long I can do that before I may do that to you. What am I supposed to do? Okay, then we can't look at, talk to each other, then go bother strangers. Yeah, okay. That's what happens. Right? You're just a mess. And then you're just basically a mess near people. Right? I'm not even talking about like you break down. Like your normal breakdown. I'm talking about just literally a mess near people, like all the time. Just go near people a mess. 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 Spaz on you. Like it can get that bad. So, on that note, I'm going to show you a website called Gender.News. It's run by a guy named Mike Adams, and he runs naturalnews.com. And naturalnews.com is a great website. And a lot of stuff on food and health and so on, plus other stuff on the bigger sort of political, cultural spectrum, right? Stuff that is noteworthy. And so I recommend Gender.News. There's example. And what he's done is Mike has taken a whole bunch of different topics and made different websites like this, you know, bigfood.news, bigwhatever.news, and gender.news. So this is where he collects some of the best articles from his websites and from other websites on the internet to share, right? So I'll give you an example. So it says here from Vicky Batts, gender transition indoctrination is extreme child abuse, warns psychiatrist. Now, and it's true, it's very bad for kids. Drugs are bad for kids, messes with their health, messes with their brain. It's a fad. It's that type of thing you can go to, you know, like cutting your hair that you could just grow out later, you know, and it's not fair, and it's unethical for a variety of reasons. And yet, if you question it, the system cracks down on it harder than anything else, right? Even Ontario Premier Doug Ford couldn't repeal the LGBT pedo sex ed, radical sex ed curriculum, right? You know, sexualizing kids like pedophiles do with too much info, hardcore info, make them easier for pedophiles to get to, blah, blah, blah. No adult is in favor of this except for really evil people that associate with Jeffrey Epstein and others. The late Jeffrey Epstein, supposedly late, financier who ran a pedophile ring for rich people. They're the ones behind this. And that's because attacking gender is the most important thing. If most people straight are great at it, LGBT whatever can also be. So it's not like it's like, well, that guy's cool. You're like, guy? Yeah, it's a chick trying to be a guy. She's good at it. It's all good. Right? Or, oh, that girl's cool. What? It's guy trying to be a girl. It's pretty good at it. It's fine. It's nice enough. Not appropriate. Not rude, sketchy, mess. anti-free speech zombie, you know, type thing, right? So that's the difference. And the non-player characters won't let us talk. I'm talking about each other, anybody, about this. That's the problem, right? That's the issue, right? So, and there's massive suicide rates and dissatisfaction, and they never tell you the stories of the people that want to switch back, and it's just whatever. So right now, little kids are being indoctrinated by this fad. Parents and other adults are being encouraged to support it. The anti-free speech mass brute sketchy zombiosis is stopping anybody from letting anybody talk about it with each other or anybody else nearby. And so that's what I'm saying. You're just a mess near people. If you have no self-respect, don't respect anyone, they don't respect you, then you can't respect anybody. Doing anything worth respecting is a target, right? It's like if you've been abused or mentally ill or hardcore drugs or brainwashed or whatever, or other people around. If people treat each other like that, right? It's hard to do anything with each other, and then they go and do it to strangers. You see? So even while this is going on, things like this are good to know and digest. And so Gender.News definitely pass on and offline. I'll go to another article from here. Top psychiatrists, and that's why posters and meetings, meet and greet tables, posters, flyers, and more work better, because online's fine, but how do you beat the, what are you supposed to do if all you can do is tweet about it, or, you know, he's even scared to, or post a Facebook post, and then offline, this is what happens if you want to have a conversation about it, right? This is what people are doing to each other. That's why they do it to strangers. Nobody just does it but strangers. Even mentally ill homeless people do it to other homeless people first. Hey, Sketchy Joe, hey, put up with me. Oh, shoot, Sketchy Joe, I don't really want to look at you or talk to you. It's hard to. Yeah, maybe I'll just pick my nose, do something sketchy back. Yeah, gross, make it go away. Okay, and then they go do it to strangers. Right? So it's the same thing here, right? So people stop people they know, they'll stop bothering strangers, and then, you know, you'll have less anti-free speech mass zombiosis, and be able to deal with some of this stuff more effectively. Now, another article, top psychiatrist warns of modern-day eugenics and compares LGBT agenda for kids to giving children a frontal lobotomy. Yeah, this isn't about adults. This is about doing huge experiments on kids without known long-term consequences. And what do the non-player what does the non-player character brainwashing in the video game do? This is not, it's like, oh, that's CNN. No, yeah, they didn't cover that. It's not, oh, CTV, oh, CBC, oh, yeah, no, this is real people. This is people programmed by that to stop everyone else. They're like, well, don't watch the CBC. You know they lie. Yeah, fine, but what if you want to talk about this with anybody else offline? Right, say, hey, we should get together to support Parents as First Educators, PAFE.ca, Tanya Granick's organization, empowering parents in this area, right? Good for them, good for the kids, good for where you live, right? What happens? Or massresistance.org, right? Another great organization exposing a lot of the BS behind this and the pedophiles behind this, because normal adults want to fit in. A lot of people that want to attack your kids are the government that wants them for control, or pedophiles that want them for pedosex. Right? They're the only people. Nobody's like, hey, your kids need to learn about this. What? You need to learn about sitting in chairs and blogging. Why? I won't feel good if they learn about sitting in chairs and blogging. It's like, no, piss off. You can't say, well, I like to dress like a chick, so kids need to learn. No, you don't do that. Right? Normal, responsible adults don't do that. You don't demand of other kids that. Right? So this is a specific kind of cult, and because it's a cult, you know, sort of employed by the system to attack us, to screw us up, that's why it's hard to talk about the cult. And that's why it's the most important thing. Right? Because otherwise, look what happens. If you beat this, you can beat everything else, because you won't have people acting like this. If you beat everything else, you can't talk about it, because people are acting like this. You see, that's the thing. Right? You want to be like, we need to talk about this. How? Look. What do you need to do something about this? We need to talk about it. How? Look. Look what happens. Look what people did to each other and now wander around trying to do to strangers. See? That's why we're screwed if we are, or not if we're not. So yeah, it's like a frontal lobotomy. They used to chop out parts of people's brains. That's what a lot of this experimental surgery is like. Right? And it says here, another article, Gender.News. Why I recommend this site. Women need more time at home. Working extra long hours depresses women more than it does men. By Melissa Smith, September 18th. Now, what happens? You talk about this so people are happier? Or do the NPC, non-player character, anti-human zombies make sure nobody can? Because then you can't. You can be like, no, I want to talk about what makes it happier. It's stupid. Tell me how it's stupid. We'll laugh at it and we'll throw it away. The anti-human zombies make sure nobody can do that about anything. Right? The zombiosis, the brainwashing, the root sketchy. You see? So, but yeah, it says here, women need more time at home. Working extra long hours depresses women more than it does men, because we know this. Right? There's guys that'll work 60 hours a week, 80 hours a week. This crazy. Women, most, typically aren't like that. Will you get the exception? Sure. Should they be allowed to? Absolutely. But, do you want to recommend it for everyone so most are miserable? No. You want to talk about it? What if you could say, hey, this will make people happier? The non-player character in a video game brainwashing by the system, or mass anti-free speech, anti-nice, happy, busy person, zombiosis, won't let you. Right? If you bring this up with someone, they'll start, touching their head, touching their hair, touching their face, wiping their nose, shoving something in their mouth, and glassing their eyes over, looking at their shoes, spazzing out, scratching, wiping, and then when you do that with each other because everything's uncomfortable to say, then wander around attacking strangers with it. Right? It's like they force them to see him look ugly, and they force them to see him look ugly. Hey, put out, you're not gonna like me. I know. I try to get away with it. Sorry. I try to get away with it. Oh, it sucks. You're not gonna like it. And then, so that's the issue. Here at 5:31 p.m. on Friday, September 27th, 2019. So, I just want to give you a flavor of that from Gender.News, which I recommend. BK Black Krishna from manforwars.com. Like, comment, subscribe, share, get in touch. Questions, answers, work together, financial support as you'd like. Otherwise, I hope this helps, and I'll talk to you soon. Cheers.